The Great Migration had some very positive effects on Northern culture, as Black styles of music and entertainment livened up cities such as New York, Chicago, and Detroit. Just as Black musical styles had lifted the morale of French troops during the war, art and music brought by Black Southerners re energized urban culture in the North and eventually led to the emergence of jazz, one of the most celebrated and uniquely American styles of music. But other effects of the Great Migration were less positive, especially after the war ended. In late 1918, large numbers of white Americans began returning from Europe to find themselves competing with Black workers for jobs. This led to a resurgence of white supremacist violence and lynchings as white mobs attacked Black people all over the country. Lynchings had been a major problem for decades. They occurred all across the country, but were most common in the South, where the vast majority of victims were Black. Lynchings had been declining since the late 1800s, but the social and economic changes brought by World War I led to a spike in that first summer after the troops returned. Black author James Weldon Johnson named those terrible months the Red Summer on account of the bloodshed. Unlike previous incidents of racial violence, the terrorism of the Red Summer was not isolated to the South, but affected northern cities as well. One of the worst incidents occurred in Chicago after a Black swimmer was accused of entering a whites only section of Lake Michigan. The violence lasted for 13 days and left 38 people dead. Black advocacy groups like the NAACP worked tirelessly to raise awareness about the danger facing Black Americans. This flag was flown outside NAACP headquarters in New York after each slaying. Perhaps no individual did more to expose the depth of the problem than Ida Wells. After three of her friends were lynched in 1892, Wells began writing editorials attacking the concept of lynching. Her writing angered many people, some of whom attacked and destroyed her newspaper office. She did not quit, however, and in fact became more prominent than ever. For the rest of her life, Wells traveled the country, speaking on behalf of the rights of Black people and women.